Hey guys, so a few days ago I wrote a blog post on the Venture Harbor blog reviewing Infusionsoft, and I wanted to do a video summary of that blog post, as I know some people like me would rather just watch a video, as well as for people who are searching for information on YouTube about Infusionsoft. So the context of this review was basically about 4 months ago we had a client become an Infusionsoft customer. And that meant that we had to help them set up their automated campaigns. We also had to learn kind of a lot about how Infusionsoft works, so that we could hold their hand and help them get it all set up. So this review is really kind of about our initial experiences. I think it's too early for us to say whether or not we absolutely love Infusionsoft, or whether this is something that we might need to change in the future. I don't think 4 months is enough to come to any kind of solid conclusions, but I just wanted to kind of share what we initially experienced. So the first thing I guess the elephant in the room when it comes to Infusionsoft is how much it costs. And this was a huge hurdle that we really had to kind of consider and weigh up a lot of the options for, because so Infusionsoft's minimum package is $199 a month, and we needed the e-commerce. One of the reasons why we were moving over to Infusionsoft was because our client was trying to connect their transactional email service, which was SendGrid, with their newsletter service, with their CRM, and it was all getting really messy. So we needed something that would do payment processing as well as store all of customer contacts, and the email marketing was just an added bonus on top of that. So we ended up going for the deluxe e-commerce one, which is $299 a month. So it's already, you're looking at $3.5 grand a year, and on top of that, to become an Infusionsoft customer, there's a mandatory Kickstart package, which is $2 grand. So a lot of people compare Infusionsoft to their email marketing service like GetResponse or MailChimp. Or they compare Infusionsoft to, say, their CRM system like Salesforce or Zoho. And when you do that, $5.5 grand, in the first year is a massive investment compared to, say, $500 or $800 for something like Salesforce or GetResponse. But what you've kind of got to, and what we sort of ended up realizing, is that the added benefit of having this all in one place and being able to trigger emails and certain marketing activity based on customer data that is being collected and stored in a CRM system is enormously valuable. And so when you look at the pricing, absolutely, it's very expensive. But when you look at it relatively to the return on investment that you're going to get, providing this is right for your business, it's a no-brainer. A lot of there's many, I mean, obviously these are on the Infusionsoft websites. There's an element of bias there, but there are so many customers and so many people who are getting, insane return on investments, 300%, 260%, really transforming their business as a result of installing Infusionsoft. And while our client, 4 months in, we're definitely not at the 300% ROI mark, but I think we can realistically say that we've already recouped the $2,000 Kickstart package and what we've initially paid in the monthly fee. So I think this brings on to quite an interesting point, which I raised only at the end of this blog post, which I've linked to in the description below, which is that for Infusionsoft to be a good investment, you need to be the right kind of business, the right kind of customer for Infusionsoft. And for a lot of people, Infusionsoft is, would just be a drain on their cash. So what is it that makes a good Infusionsoft customer? Well, for me, I think I put a lot of thought into this, and I think it comes down to you need to be selling a lot of online products, because this really only works as a way of when you can highly automate online transactions. So I think this is really for kind of e-commerce information product-based businesses where you're already doing $100,000, $150,000 a year, and the reason behind that is because for you to be recouping an extra, say, $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, this might have a kind of a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5% increase in conversion rates, or you're only going to be making marginal improvements on your conversion rates and on your customer lifetime value. But if you've already got a significant amount of online sales or customers, that's going to add up to a huge amount. So I'd urge anyone reviewing Infusionsoft to looking at it as a solution for their business to really think of this in relative terms to the likely return on investment that they're going to get. So my kind of perspective on the pricing is that it's not bad in terms of return on investment. The Kickstart package I find a little bit, I don't know, there's something about it that doesn't sit well with me. On the one hand, we found that it was enormous kind of psychological kick up the arse, because when we knew that this was going to cost, we had to pay $2,000 to have someone teach us how to use this software, that kind of made us feel, okay, we need to make sure that Infusionsoft is going to be pretty transformational for us. So it put a lot of stakes on the line, which I think psychologically made us work harder to get the results from Infusionsoft. But at the same time, there's something about charging $2,000 to train someone to use a piece of software that they're already committing to pay for, which I don't know. For me, this was kind of, we almost didn't go with Infusionsoft on the basis of this Kickstart package. So I don't think it's a very smart move on Infusionsoft's behalf, but I can see why they're doing it, and there certainly was benefit of doing it. I wasn't actually on the Kickstart calls for this. It was our client did all of the kind of initial training. They did find it incredibly valuable, but conceptually, I don't know. I don't fully agree with how they're doing that. But it's mandatory, so it's something that you kind of, I guess, if you want to use Infusionsoft, it's something that you kind of need to go through. So in terms of the actual product, there are a few main kind of areas of Infusionsoft. You've got the kind of the CRM bit. The thing that I really like about their CRM is the lead grading, which made it really handy for us actually to kind of see which customers, which users were most valuable for us to kind of develop our relationships with. And this is nothing new. Like most CRM systems, like Salesforce, have had lead grading for quite a while. But I find the Infusionsoft one is just really nice and intuitive, really nice and easy to use. This bit, the marketing automation, campaign builder, is amazing. It's quite addictive actually. We found that, so basically how it works is you create these sequences where you can sort of say, if a customer visits this landing page, or a customer signs up but doesn't, add something to their basket but then doesn't go through the checkout, after a certain amount of time you can send them this email, or you can do this action, and then after 2 days if they don't do this. So it's a real kind of, you create these sequences where you send different emails and different landing pages to customers based on their behavior. So you can, it's just, in terms of the impact that it has on, can have on your conversion rates, it's pretty awesome. It's really fun to play with. Like, there's a really nice dashboard. I've got a thing here. It looks something like this. So you can just add kind of time-based rules and what landing pages, what emails you send based on the user's behavior. So it's quite hard to to sort of summarize all that you can do with this without going into quite a lot of depth. I want to keep this quite short and snappy. So they've got a lot of demos actually on the Infusionsoft website, which I'll link to below, which do a much better job than I can of kind of explaining all the sort of ins and outs of the software. So the only other thing that I wanted to run through was some of the kind of the pros and cons that we found after using it and integrating it with our client after the first few months. So the things that I really liked, obviously the campaign builder is pretty awesome, really good fun to use, and just makes it quite, you almost sort of feel like you've got so much kind of control and a real nice kind of bird's eye view of what's going on in your business and what kind of information you're sending people. So really like the campaign builder. CRM is really nice. I personally, for Venture Harbor, last year I spent about 4 or 5 months trying to find a good CRM system, and we went through Pipedrive. We stayed with for quite a while. We went through Salesforce, Zoho, Sugar, and I find it very difficult. None of them seemed intuitive enough to really kind of build into our business. But we're not, as Venture Harbor, we're not actually using Infusionsoft, but for the CRM system is really, really nice. If I could just kind of use that part of Infusionsoft, that would be amazing. Customer service, really good. We've only dealt with, I've not dealt directly with them, but our client has said that their account manager has been really good. In terms of what we've not been so impressed with about Infusionsoft, for me, the lack of A/B testing is quite a big one. For something that is so kind of built around this idea of automation and kind of fine-tuning aspects of your business, it's really surprised me that there's no kind of way of A/B testing different campaigns and having those kind of incremental improvements in different aspects of your sequence. However, you can. So we use Visual Website Optimizer. So what you can do if you want to do A/B testing is you can what's going on here? You can install the Visual Website Optimizer or Unbounce or what's the other one? Optimizely or something like that. You can use the code from that and put it into Infusionsoft. This was kind of specific to our situation, but we found that it was a bit weird that Infusionsoft didn't enable recurring PayPal payments. But we're currently actually looking into. I believe Infusionsoft have got a kind of an extra product called Customer Hub, which is sort of like their membership platform. So I think for recurring payments and subscriptions and membership sites, I think you can get Customer Hub. This is one of the things actually that we found or are finding a little bit funny about Infusionsoft is you get this real kind of gradual price increase, because as you need more of the services, as you need these extras, it just gets more and more expensive. So I definitely, while it may start at the $199 a month, definitely consider that it can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. The other thing that I wasn't overly impressed with Infusionsoft was the quality of the analytics reporting. So the data in Infusionsoft is amazing. It's real kind of, I have a real problem with services that just display lots of vanity metrics, like metrics that are not actionable and don't actually change your behavior. Infusionsoft is really good in the data that they show. It's all actionable. It's really nice, juicy data that will change aspects of your business. However, how that data is reported is really kind of basic. A lot of the Infusionsoft reporting is just like showing a table of data, so you have to do a lot of the kind of number crunching yourself, which is not ideal, but I believe Infusionsoft have got a way of upgrading this, but it costs extra. The only other thing that I've not mentioned is the email templates, which are okay. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're just pretty mediocre. If you're used to using something like MailChimp or GetResponse, compared to that, they're not the best in the world. But that's pretty much it. I mean, Infusionsoft generally, what we found so far, it's been awesome in terms of automating parts of our clients' business, and it's really done what it said, what it said on the tin. It's been, in terms of improving their marketing and improving how they kind of interact with their customers, it's been fantastic. So I definitely recommend book yourself a demo. I've put all the links below to go to book demos and all that. So definitely give it a shot. And yeah, I'll link to this full blog post as well. But yeah, I hope that's been useful. All right, thanks guys.